everybody, welcome to my channel.
Christy Turlington is an American supermodel, humanitarian, and filmmaker, best known as one of the original supermodels of the late 1980s and 1990s. Born on January 2, 1969, in Walnut Creek, California, she rose to international fame through her work with Calvin Klein, particularly as the face of their Eternity fragrance campaign, which became iconic. Her classic beauty, poise, and professionalism made her a favorite among top designers and photographers, and she appeared on hundreds of magazine covers and in campaigns for brands like Chanel, Versace, and Maybelline. Turlington was part of the elite group often referred to as the Big Six supermodels, alongside Naomi Campbell, Linda Evangelista, Cindy Crawford, Claudia Schiffer, and Kate Moss. Beyond modeling, she earned a degree in comparative religion and Eastern philosophy from NYU, showcasing a deep intellectual curiosity rarely associated with the fashion world at the time. Later in life, Christy became an outspoken advocate for maternal health. After experiencing complications during the birth of her first child, she founded Every Mother Counts, a nonprofit organization dedicated to making pregnancy and childbirth safe for every mother. She also directed the documentary No Woman, No Cry, 2010, which highlights global maternal health challenges. Christy Turlington is celebrated not only for her timeless beauty and modeling legacy but also for using her platform to effect meaningful global change. Fashion legacy Christy Turlington began modeling at 14 after being discovered by a photographer while horseback riding in Miami, Florida. By the late 1980s, she had become a dominant figure on international runways and in high-end fashion campaigns. Her unique blend of classical features, serene beauty, long neck, and calm elegance, made her a muse for photographers like Stephen Meisel, Herb Ritts, and Irving Penn. Turlington was instrumental in defining the era of the supermodel, a time when models became global celebrities. Alongside peers like Cindy Crawford and Naomi Campbell, she helped shift models from anonymous faces to cultural icons. She famously starred in George Michael's Freedom 90 music video, a cultural moment that celebrated the supermodel phenomenon. She worked closely with designers such as Gianni Versace, Karl Lagerfeld, Donna Karan, Marc Jacobs, and Valentino. Her long-standing partnership with Calvin Klein was one of the most enduring model brand collaborations in fashion history. Education and intellect. Despite her thriving modeling career, Turlington never saw fashion as her only path. In the mid-1990s, she stepped back from full-time modeling to attend college. She graduated from New York University with a degree in comparative religion and Eastern philosophy, a reflection of her interest in deeper philosophical and spiritual questions. She also practiced yoga seriously, even releasing books and videos on the subject. Activism and philanthropy. After experiencing a life-threatening postpartum hemorrhage during the birth of her first child, Turlington became deeply involved in maternal health advocacy. In 2010, she founded Every Mother Counts, a nonprofit that works to improve maternal health care access globally, particularly in developing countries. The organization funds community-based programs, provides transportation for pregnant women to reach clinics, trains midwives, and lobbies for better policies. She directed the documentary No Woman, No Cry, 2010, which was filmed in Tanzania, Bangladesh, Guatemala, and the U.S. It highlighted the dangers many women face during childbirth and drew international attention to an issue rarely addressed in mainstream media. Christy also climbed Mount Kilimanjaro in 2011 to raise awareness of the distances women in remote areas must travel to receive maternal health care. Personal life. Christy Turlington married actor and filmmaker Edward Burns in 2003. They have 2 children. Despite her fame, she is known for leading a relatively private and grounded life. She continues to model occasionally, appearing in campaigns for luxury brands like Bottega Veneta and appearing in editorials for Vogue well into her 50s, a rare feat in a youth-centric industry. Legacy Turlington is widely admired not just for her enduring beauty, but for her intellect, integrity, and purpose-driven life. She helped redefine what it means to be a model, proving it can be a platform for education, activism, and long-term cultural impact. Her career is often cited as a model, in both senses of the word, for how women in fashion can take control of their narratives and create lasting change. A deeper look at her evolution. Christy Turlington's journey from teen model to global advocate is remarkable not just for its scope but for its intentionality. Unlike many who get swept up in fame, she consistently made thoughtful decisions about her work and her image. Even at the height of the supermodel era, she avoided the tabloid lifestyle that often accompanied it. She rarely attended the nightclub scene her peers were known for, preferring yoga, reading, and schoolwork to late-night parties. This grounded approach set her apart, and preserved her credibility when she pivoted to more serious pursuits. In the early 2000s, she made a conscious choice to decelerate from modeling and focus on family, advocacy, and education. This decision gave her a second act that deepened her public identity beyond fashion. She didn't retire, but rather redefined her role. Media and cultural presence. Despite her private nature, Turlington has maintained a strong and respectful presence in media. She's been on the cover of Vogue over 80 times worldwide, including multiple appearances on Vogue US, Vogue Italia, and British Vogue. In 2014, she was chosen by Time magazine as one of the 100 most influential people in the world, recognizing her maternal health work. She was also part of Peter Lindbergh's iconic black and white photographs that emphasized natural beauty and helped to glamorize the more excessive side of fashion. In advertising, she's worked across generations, from Estée Lauder and Revlon in the 90s to Louis Vuitton and Cole Haan in the 2010s, proving her timelessness. Industry relationships and reputation. Within the fashion world, Christy is respected not just for her looks but for her work ethic, kindness, and intelligence. Fellow models like Naomi Campbell and Cindy Crawford often describe her as calm, centered, and wise. Designer Marc Jacobs has said she brought grace and dignity to every campaign or runway she touched. She also mentored younger models, advocating for better conditions backstage and encouraging thoughtful career planning. Her activism helped spark industry-wide conversations about health, safety, and ethics in fashion. Enduring style and aesthetic influenced Turlington's look. Minimalist, refined, serene, was a perfect match for the 1990s aesthetic of clean lines and elegance. Calvin Klein, especially, built much of their brand identity around her calm, confident presence. Her face came to symbolize quiet luxury before the term existed. Even today, designers reference her classic features and effortless style. She's a go-to model for ageless beauty editorials and is frequently cited by modern creatives as an inspiration for campaigns that emphasize natural beauty, inner strength, and restraint. Philosophy and voice. Christy's advocacy isn't limited to maternal health. She's also spoken out on tobacco use, having lost her father to lung cancer. She appeared in public service announcements against smoking and served on the board of the Foundation for a Smoke-Free America. Her approach to philanthropy is highly personal and transparent. She's not just a figurehead. She visits clinics, meets with community health workers, and documents the progress of projects funded by Every Mother Counts. She believes in impact over image and uses storytelling to humanize statistics and foster empathy. Recent work and life today. Now in her mid-50s, Turlington remains active across fashion and nonprofit work. She still models selectively. In 2019, she closed Marc Jacobs's runway show after a 20-year hiatus. Every Mother Counts continues to expand globally, funding maternal health programs in countries like Haiti, India, and the U.S. She speaks regularly at conferences on health, women's rights, and sustainable development. She also contributes essays and op-eds to media outlets, adding a respected voice to global women's health dialogue. Final reflections. Christy Turlington is widely seen as one of the most elegant and authentic supermodels in history. She leveraged her fame into real-world change, proving that beauty and depth are not mutually exclusive. Her life exemplifies quiet leadership, a model, in every sense, for how to grow with purpose in the public eye. Philosophy and personal ethos. Christy Turlington's work and lifestyle are deeply rooted in mindfulness, compassion, and self-awareness. She's a longtime practitioner of yoga and meditation, and these practices have influenced both her personal and professional decisions. She once said, "I always wanted to be seen as more than just a face." That sentiment shaped everything she pursued after modeling, from her academic studies in Eastern philosophy to her commitment to maternal health, to the way she's refused to allow her image to be commodified without purpose. She sees beauty not as an end in itself, but as a vehicle for awareness and connection. Spirituality and education. Turlington's studies at NYU weren't superficial add-ons to a modeling career, they marked a profound transition. Her focus on comparative religion and Eastern philosophy wasn't just academic. She traveled extensively in India, Nepal, and South America, immersing herself in different cultures and spiritual practices. This deeper curiosity about the world helped inform her documentary filmmaking. In No Woman, No Cry, she doesn't speak over the women she films, she listens, creating a space where their voices lead the narrative. In a world of influencer culture and overexposure, Christy's approach is rare, measured, respectful, and deeply personal. Marriage and family life. Christy married filmmaker and actor Edward Burns in 2003. Burns, known for films like The Brothers McMullen and She's the One, shares her low-key lifestyle and focus on family. They have 2 children, Grace and Finn, and raise them largely out of the spotlight. Turlington has spoken about the delicate balance between being a public figure and a protective mother. She avoids oversharing and prefers her children to develop their own identities outside of her fame. "I've always believed in being present more than being perfect," she said in an interview, highlighting her parenting philosophy. Behind the scenes, model with a mission. Even at the height of her modeling fame, Turlington was asking deeper questions. According to peers and photographers, she was always the one reading books backstage, staying calm in chaos, and treating every person on set with respect, from hair stylists to lighting crew. Her professionalism is legendary. Photographer Arthur Elgort once said, "Christy walks into a room, and the energy calms. She's not trying to be anyone but herself." Public perception and cultural impact. Turlington isn't just admired for her beauty, she's respected. This distinction is critical. She made being smart, curious, and purposeful not just acceptable for a model, but aspirational. Her brand of activism is also unique. Unlike celebrity charity work that sometimes feels performative, hers is intimate and sustained. She often travels without press and gives control to local voices. She avoids hero narratives. She's not saving anyone, she's collaborating, amplifying, and investing. In this way, she helped reshape public expectations of what a model, or any public figure, could be. Recent initiatives and continuing legacy. Every Mother Counts continues to fund training for midwives, doula programs in the U.S., and safe birth initiatives in conflict zones. She co-produced the documentary Giving Birth in America, a CNN special series examining the maternal health crisis in the U.S. in 2023. She helped launch a campaign with Vogue and Save the Children to raise awareness for maternal and child health in war-affected regions. She's been a guest lecturer at Columbia and NYU, teaching young students about ethical advocacy and storytelling. Legacy. Redefining the role of a model. Christy Turlington's life work represents a quiet revolution in how we think about beauty, fame, and responsibility. She proved that you can use beauty to open doors, but not be limited by it. Step away from the spotlight without losing influence. Make activism part of your identity without preaching or posturing. She didn't just redefine beauty standards, she redefined the role of the model in culture. Selected quotes from Christy Turlington. I was never the loudest in the room. I found power in listening. My face became known before I had the words to explain who I was. It's taken me a lifetime to reclaim the whole story. Every woman deserves to survive childbirth, no matter where she lives or how much she earns. You don't have to choose between being a model and being a meaningful person. You can be both, and more. Filmmaking and storytelling. No Woman, No Cry. Christy Turlington's debut as a director and producer with No Woman, No Cry, 2010, was a bold and heartfelt move that reintroduced her to the world, not as a supermodel, but as a truth-teller. The documentary, which premiered at the Tribeca Film Festival, chronicles the stories of pregnant women in 4 countries: Tanzania, Bangladesh, Guatemala, and the United States. What's striking about the film is that Turlington does not center herself. She lets local midwives, patients, and health workers speak for themselves. She frames the narrative to reveal global inequalities in maternal health, showing that even in the U.S., childbirth can be dangerous depending on your income or access to care. She later followed this with the short-form CNN series Giving Birth in America, which spotlighted the maternal care crisis in different U.S. states. 2. Expanding health advocacy beyond maternal care. While maternal health is her cornerstone issue, Turlington has quietly championed broader public health efforts. Tobacco control. After losing her father to lung cancer, she became a vocal anti-smoking advocate. She appeared in campaigns for the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, and served on the board of the Foundation for a Smoke-Free America. Mental health and women's wellness. She's spoken publicly about postpartum challenges, emotional health in motherhood, and the importance of self-care, especially for women in caregiving roles. Sustainability and ethical fashion. Christy has lent her name to efforts promoting ethical fashion production and sustainability, including supporting organizations that ensure garment workers' rights in developing nations. 3. Business ventures and publishing. In addition to her nonprofit and artistic work, Turlington has had entrepreneurial interests. Nuala. In the early 2000s, she launched Nuala, a yoga-inspired lifestyle and clothing brand in collaboration with Puma. While ahead of its time in the athleisure market, the brand received critical praise for merging wellness, ethics, and aesthetics. Author. She wrote Living Yoga, Creating a Life Practice, 2002, a part memoir, part guidebook that weaves together yoga philosophy, personal anecdotes, and spiritual insights. It reflects her thoughtful, introspective voice. 4. Her return to fashion. Christy Turlington never truly retired from modeling, but her fashion reappearances in the 2010s and 2020s have been deliberately symbolic. In 2019, She walked the runway for Marc Jacobs at New York Fashion Week after a 20-year hiatus, a powerful, silent reminder that beauty doesn't expire with age. In 2022, she appeared in the Ralph Lauren Fall campaign alongside her daughter Grace Burns, symbolizing a generational passing of the torch. Their appearance sparked conversation about legacy, aging, and natural beauty in fashion. She's also been featured in recent Vogue editorials that center mature women reclaiming space in an industry obsessed with youth. 5. Multi-generational impact and public symbolism. Christy Turlington is unique in that she resonates across generations. For Gen X, she's an icon of the minimalist 90s. For millennials, she's a model turned activist whose career arc feels aspirational. For Gen Z, she's a symbol of graceful aging, purpose, and depth. Often cited in fashion retrospectives and social campaigns on real beauty, her daughter Grace is now entering the modeling world, and Christy has supported her cautiously. Emphasizing education and emotional intelligence over fame or exposure, she often speaks about legacy not as fame passed down, but as values passed down. 6. Cultural symbolism and lasting influence. Christy Turlington today represents the evolution of femininity in the public eye. She began as a beauty symbol and transformed into a changemaker. She reminds us that advocacy can come from any background. Personal experience can lead to public impact. Beauty can serve a mission when guided by values. Her role in pop culture is now that of a quiet elder, not flashy or loud, but deeply respected. She's frequently interviewed on panels at the United Nations, World Health Organization, and Clinton Global Initiative. Closing thought: if Naomi Campbell is fashion's fire and Cindy Crawford is its muscle, Christy Turlington is its soul. Feminism, beauty standards, and body image. While Christy Turlington didn't always speak in explicitly feminist language early in her career, her choices spoke volumes. She consistently defied the expectations placed on female models, particularly the ones that demanded self-exploitation or sexualized branding. Instead of leveraging her body to sell provocation, she was revered for her serenity, intelligence, and restraint. That alone was radical in an industry that often rewarded shock value. As the supermodel era exploded in the 1990s, Turlington quietly showed that femininity could be strong, elegant, and self-possessed, without being loud, overexposed, or manipulated. She's often cited as a reference point for today's body neutrality movement, not because she rebelled against beauty standards, but because she refused to be reduced to them. It was important for me, even at 19, to be more than just the picture someone took of me. I knew that wouldn't be enough, she once said. 2. Redefining aging and visibility in fashion. In a youth-driven industry, Turlington is at the forefront of a quiet revolution: mature beauty without apology or camouflage. She's appeared in campaigns and covers with minimal makeup, natural graying hair, and no digital retouching, not to shock or provoke, but to normalize authenticity. Unlike many of her peers, she never chased perpetual youth. She never launched a skincare line, cosmetic surgery brand, or anti-aging empire. Instead, she let her face evolve naturally, and this choice carries enormous weight in an industry built on illusion. This has made her one of the most powerful images for aging with grace, integrity, and pride. 3. Critical praise and recognition. Christy Turlington has been universally praised by creatives, journalists, and activists alike. Anna Wintour, editor-in-chief, Vogue. Christy represents the best of what fashion can do: elevate, inspire, and then lead people somewhere meaningful. Edward Enninful, former editor of British Vogue. She brought spirituality to fashion. You never saw it, but you felt it in every image. Charmine Obaid Chinoy, Oscar-winning filmmaker, as a documentarian. Christy has the most powerful tool of all, humility. She's received humanitarian awards from Glamour, InStyle, Care, and the Harvard School of Public Health, each recognizing her long-term commitment, not a celebrity appearance. 4. Her relationship with Fame. Turlington's view of celebrity is pragmatic and almost spiritual. She understands fame as a tool, not a goal. She has said repeatedly that she didn't seek out public attention, but accepted it as part of the job, and has used it as currency to fund, amplify, and transform causes. Fame is like fire, it can warm you or burn you. You have to know what you want from it. She rarely appears at red carpets unless it's related to Every Mother Counts or a specific initiative. This detachment has made her even more respected, as it underscores her sincerity. 5. A new archetype of public womanhood. Christy Turlington stands apart in that she's not trying to have it all in the loud, performative way culture often demands of women. Instead, she represents a slow, intentional, and deeply fulfilling life. Deep work over fast fame, purpose over popularity, groundedness over glamour, family over frenzy. She shows that it's possible to succeed. Step away, grow, and return, on your own terms. In today's oversharing, overexposed celebrity era, she feels almost mythic, a woman of substance who can walk away from the noise and come back stronger, more relevant, and more real. Final word. Christy Turlington is not only a supermodel, she's a superwoman of quiet strength. Her life is proof that values can endure, integrity can inspire, and elegance can still lead. Her story is not about reinvention, it's about deepening. At every stage, she became more herself, and that may be her greatest legacy of all. 1. Systemic change, beyond charity. Towards structural health reform. One of the most misunderstood things about Christy Turlington's activism is that it goes far beyond charitable giving or celebrity endorsements. Through Every Mother Counts, she has worked to address systemic failures in global health infrastructure, the kind that affect.
Bye bye, thanks for watching.